Hi, I'm Vince, and I'm not breathless. Oh, it's obvious I can breathe very well. I started smoking when I was quite young. I was 13 when I went to high school. Took 20, bus 20 miles across town, and I got there, and of course, high school, yay! All the kids smoked, so I started smoking. I was 13 years old. The rest is kind of history for a long time. I smoked for many, many, many years, and I met my wife in the late 90s. She also was a smoker. It happens. There are plenty of them out there, especially people that smoke tend to kind of hang out with other people that, it's one of those weird things. But anyway, my wife, though, at one point in time, had a very good friend, Martin Percival, who worked for, he was a cast member of the touring company of Riverdance. So he was a dancer. And he recommended, because he had quit smoking, using this book, and he recommended it to my wife. So she got it. It was The Easy Way to Stop Smoking by Alan Carr. Now, Alan Carr, he's from Britain, not to be confused with there's a British comedian named Alan Carr. Not the same guy. This guy started off, I believe he was an accountant or something, and he smoked a couple packs a day, and it really bugged him. So he took it upon himself to study and to research and to find out why he was smoking and why he felt the compulsion to smoke. And he was very honest, very clear, tore the mask off and looked, and he delved into the reasons why he felt he was getting something out of smoking and the reasons why he was misinformed and he didn't understand completely. And so after studying this for quite a while, he came up with a system. It's a cognitive behavioral therapy system that was called The Easy Way to Stop Smoking. Worked well for our friend Martin, so Colleen thought, okay, let's do it. And I thought, well, what the heck, if you're going to do it, I'll read it too. So we started reading the book. And I am sure you've seen people talking about it before. There's a little clip that they used to use about Ashton Kutcher on some TV show talking about using this method, the easy way to stop smoking, which is kind of funny because he goes, oh yeah, and even in the book it says, okay, have a smoke now. It doesn't actually say that. However, it doesn't try to get you to quit smoking while you're doing it. However, you may feel like you don't need cigarettes anymore while you're reading it. However, the way this works is once you're done reading it, you've had your last cigarette. Boom, that's it. And there's only one rule, and that rule is to don't pick up another one. That's pretty simple, straightforward. And it actually works. Through this system, you learn all of the things that you are led to believe or taught or are considered conventional wisdom, like, for example, smoking calms you down. Nope, it does not. Nicotine is basically a stimulant. People will always come up to a smoker, always, and say, quitting smoking is the most difficult thing you will ever do in your life. And most people find that to be true because it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe it's going to be difficult, guess what? It's going to be difficult. But if you follow along with this, you will find out all the things you thought about smoking were not correct. We got to the end of the book. This was funny. I'm not sure how long we read it, a week or so. We got to the end of the book, And as we were getting to the end, my wife was terrified. She was all full of anxiety and everything else because she knew that the day we finished, she'd have to quit, which I thought was hilarious. I actually had to encourage her to get her to quit. I personally had a very easy time with it. I think I had maybe one or two tough days, but I don't think I think it was only one tough day. And I quit and not never. I mean, I fell off the wagon once or twice, but I quit right back again. And I have basically been cigarette free for 15 years or so now. Now, Colleen also did this, and she was so impressed by being able to quit because she was so convinced that there would be nothing on this planet that actually could make her stop smoking. She was so impressed. She got in touch with the company, the Easy Way to Stop Smoking in London, and she explained what was going on and what happened and how interested she was and how she'd like to help. And they got her in touch with the person that was in charge of Easy Way for North America, Damien O'Hara, who was from Toronto. And so she worked with Damien and his wife, Nicole, for many years. And she studied and learned all about the system. She got lots and lots of information about smoking itself. And she is really probably one of the most educated people on smoking in the country, if not in the world. But anyway, she after doing this for about 12 years or so with the Easy Way, the headquarters in London kind of got a little weird. You know how sometimes corporations do that, and they wanted to change stuff not for the better in her opinion. So she went out into the real kind of corporate world, and she works for the University of Colorado Health Center, and she's a smoking cessation counselor. However, unfortunately, these days, if you're working for a big industry, often, if not always, smoking is combined with some sort of pharmaceutical because I guess somebody has to make money. But so it goes. So she actually can use some of her own techniques as well as some of the techniques that the more traditional stop smoking outfits use. However you do it. Cigarettes are just a waste of time, mostly because anybody that smokes 20 cigarettes a day, you got to get it out and light it and go through the little things and ave, it's a ritual which is a little weird. And when you think about that, how much of your time every day do you waste doing that? I mean, besides the fact that it's not very healthy for you. But anyway, now you've been warned. Vince has told you the important things about life. And I'm going to encourage you to please, if you're smoking, look into it. Get this book. It's available in many, many places. You can find it online. You can find it at libraries. I think I probably have a few of these. I know my wife has a whole box full of audio cassettes. No, not audio cassettes. I'm sorry, DVDs, which have a copy of the seminar on them. So we've got a whole ton of those. But whatever it takes for you to quit. Okay? It's going to be the best thing you ever did. Well, besides getting a dog, which I've already told you about. But anyway, my name's Vince. We'll see you later. Bye now.